So where we okay, static classes. Okay, static keyword in Java, it can be used in three different ways. One is static block, one is static reference, the third one is a static method. So whenever you come across static, you need to think that this line of code or this statement, this block of code, that is going to be just for the class, okay, not for the different objects that you are creating. So let me give you one example. Okay, let me give you one example how this is going to be for the class and not for the objects that we are creating. Okay, let's close this one. Let's create a new class. Okay, static test2. In this I'm going to have a static member, private static int a equal to 10, for example, private int b equal to 20. Okay, private, let's make it public void display numbers. This is going to sys out uh, value of a. Okay, let's leave these things behind. A, and it's going to print the value of a. It will show an error because it's non-static field. Okay, it was fast. We can have value of b. Okay, this is the value of a and value of b, the printing in the screen. Okay, let's create a new class. Okay, let's go back to the static class 1. There we can use the same class. So what we are going to do, we are going to create the object of static test2, right? Static test2. I'm going to create an object, so I need to suppose I can name it test2 equal to new static test2. So this is a constructor which is a default constructor. Okay, it doesn't take any arguments. Now a new static test object is created, test2 object is created. So it is having, no, the reference is there with test2. Okay, now I can print the value of the two numbers because they are, as they are private fields, I cannot use them directly. So I can use this public method display numbers which will print the values for me. Okay, system.out.println test2 dot display numbers. Okay, now this is going to print the values for me. I don't need to use this println because it already has those println inside that. Okay, so let's run this. It is going to print the values for you. You can see a is 10 and b is 20, right? So it is basically printing the value of a and b for you. So let's create the setters of a and b. I'm going to select all the setters, do OK. Now it has created the setters. Let's do one thing, let's set the values. Now what has happened, I have just created the object and I have just displayed the numbers, the default values. Now I am going to do a little modification, test2 dot set b, and I am going to set the value b as 11. Similarly, I can call test2 dot set a, that is going to be 11. Okay, and then I can display test2 dot display numbers. Okay, now let's see what has happened. Now I am resetting the values, both the values to 11. Okay, let's run that, run a Java application. You can see first it is printing 10 and 20 that it was initialized with, then it is setting the values to 11, right? Okay, Okay. In static, if this variable a, if it is static, right, if you are creating multiple objects, still then this variable is going to be same for all the objects. Let's see how that is like putting some effect. Let's delete all these things. Now we have one object, static test. Test2 is that's one object. Let's create another object. Copy. Let's create static test2, and I am going to create another object, test suppose 3. So I am having two objects now, test2 and test3, right? uh, let's print the value of test3 object. Now they should display the same numbers because all are initialized with 10 and 20. So let's run this. I should be getting 10 and 20 now. 10 and 20, 10 and 20. So okay. Let's do one more thing. Let's set the values. Test2 dot set b as 11. Okay. Similarly, test3 dot set b as 22. 11 and 22, 33 and 44. Now after modifying test2, I want to display the values of test2 and I want to display the values of test3 after modifying the values. Okay. Now see what we have done. We have created two objects. One is like of the same class, static test2. One is called test2, one is called test3. Okay. While creating the object, I want to display the values, the initialized values, the default values they are having. They're like 10 and 20 respectively. Now I am printing the values. It will print 10 and 20 for A and B. It will also print 10 and 20 for A and B. Then what I am doing is I am modifying the value of test2 dot B. Test2 dot set B 11. Now the value of test2 objects B field is changed to 11. Similarly, I am changing the value of A of test2 object to 22, right? And I am displaying the values of test2. Let's do one more thing. Okay, let's execute this one. See the output. Okay, first it is printing A and B for test1, it is for test2, sorry, test2 and test3. Now it is printing the value of test2 B and A and B as 22 and 11. Fine, it is printing 22 and 11, right? Similarly, it is setting the value for test3's A and B. Okay, let's do this way. This is 44 and 33, right? You might get confused. Let me write it this way for you. This is test 2 and okay, this is going to be test 3. So I'll have the values. Right. See, for test 2 you have 10 and 20, test 3 you have 10 and 20, then you modified test 2 to 22 and 11, you are getting 22 and 11 for A and B. Similarly for test 3 you are modifying, you are getting 44 and 33. Okay, it seems fine, right? Whatever value you are setting, you are getting that value, right? Now you will see a difference here. Now what value of A have you set? See, in test 2 the field A, it's static, right? It's static and integer A. when you execute this statement, what is the value of A of test2? That is 22, right? For test2 the value of A is 22 here. Value of A, value of test2 colon A is 22 because you have set it here and you are displaying that value over here, right? Till now you have not modified the values of, till now you have not modified, when you execute this line you have not modified the value of test3 object. So let's print the value of test3 here. Let's comment these 3 lines. Okay. Okay, leave that open. Don't modify the value of test3. So let's take it a little up. Now what you are doing, you are modifying the value of test2.a, that is to 22, modifying the value of test2.b, that is 11, and displaying the test2, and you want to display the test3 also. If you want to display test3, you will find certain differences in the output. Let's run this. See, for test2 you have set 22 as A, test2 you have set 22 as A. For test3 you have not set anything, right? The value, it was the value was 20 for test. Okay, the value was 10 for A, right? For test3 the value of A was 10. You have not modified it, you have commented the code, but still test3.a is showing 22. The same value that you have set for test2, that is displayed in test3 also. So what is happening, irrespective of number of objects like test2, test3, whatever number of objects you are creating, the value of A is common to both of them. Okay. So if you want to modify the value of A, suppose suppose you want to modify the test3 dot set A. This is the static field. You want to modify it to 55, right? Even at that time also, if you want to print the value of test2, you will get the same value. Test2. Okay, now you are setting test3.a, but that A is common to both test3 and test2 objects because that is a static variable. So you will get, even in test2 object also, you will get the value of A as 55. So let's run this one. Okay, see, in test2 object I am printing test2 object, even the value of A is 55, which I have said that for test3, not for test2, right? So the static variable is static, that is common to all the objects that are created. So in static, the variable that is static, we don't call it an object variable, it's a variable which belongs to the class. Alright. Oh, sorry, you are not audible. Be little louder. Ping me the question. It will be fine if you can ping it. Can we display the static variable value through class name instead of object reference? Yes, that's what I was about to tell you. You can see there is a yellow line below this variable. Okay, it is saying that we are accessing a static reference. The static method set a int from the type this should be accessed in a static way. So because this variable a, it belongs to the class, we don't need an object to call that. We can directly call that using the static, using the class name itself. So what was the class name static test2? You can always call the class name to set the values. So here you can call class name, because that's a static method also. You can call the stat class name. Okay. Now you can go into this method and you can see this method is a static void. It's not just public void, it's a static void, because the variable that we are modifying, that's a static variable. So we cannot access, we cannot modify the static variable without having a static method. So the static method also, it belongs to the same class. Okay, so you can have if you have multiple objects created, still then also you don't need to call this method from object, you can directly call this from static. Okay,
Yeah.
now you have understood how the static variable it behaves. It belongs to the class. You don't need to access the static variables and methods using the objects. You can directly call them using the class name, right? Now the third part is the static block. Okay, let's create a new class, static test3, right? So static block is something which is executed first. So if we have a main method and if you want to write something over here, like I want to print 1 2 3 4, if I want to run it, I can run it and it will print me 1 2 3 4. So if you want to execute something just before the class execution has started, or when you want to execute something when the object is first created, then you can put something in the static block that will be executed as soon as the object is created. Sysout support object created. So when an object is created, so as we have learned that this is the entry point of the class, right, main method. So now let's see what is happening on this. When the object of static3 class is created, then this should be printed as a Java application. So you can see 1 2 3 4, this one, even this one is called later, but this one comes first, because to call this method you must have an object. The object has to be created first. So when the object was created, at the time this static block got executed. Okay, now when the static block got executed, it has printed object created, then it has come to this place. Okay, let's create another way. Let's show this in a different way. We had static test2. Okay, this is the, so we are going to create one object of this class and we have a static method, right? We used to create the object of this class, right? So okay, so we can create, so I'm printing this, so I can always write static test2 or test equal to new static test2. So you just see, I'm just creating one reference of that, I'm just creating one object of that class, and I'm not even using this reference, right? I'm not even using this reference, that is unused. Then I'm printing sysout. See, when this object is created, it will print me object created, and that method that is called, that is there within this static block. When the object is created, it is going to be called. So let's execute this class, this method. See, object created comes first, and this is coming from static class, static test2's static block. Okay, so now we have three different things in static. One is static variable. Static variable is something which is like a new static variable. When you create a static variable and you create lots of objects of that class, then that static variable is going to remain for the class, and whatever object you are using, you can modify that static block using any object, and that is going to be reflected in all the objects. Or you can directly use that object, you can directly call that object, you can directly modify that object using the class reference. You don't need to create an object for that. If you come to static methods, Static methods, they can be called just with the class reference name. You don't need to call them via objects, right? And if you come to static blocks, these are the block which are executed when the class object is created for the first time.
Okay.
Okay, if you have any
Yes.
questions, then ping me, or it's fine.